1952. Og lige nu tredje afsnit af den voldsomme serie Vietnamkrigens glemte film.
And I saved for years. I know what it's about.
I have a son that's going to go into the army.
We fight because we must fight. If we're to live in a world where every country can shape its own destiny, we will not be defeated.
At the start of 1968, 3 years after U.S. ground forces first landed in Vietnam, there are nearly 500,000 Americans in country, fighting an estimated force of nearly 300,000 North Vietnamese regulars and Viet Cong guerrillas. U.S. military strategy is a combination of bombing key industrial and supply sites in the north, while launching massive search and destroy operations in the south. Dead enemy bodies, not territory, is the measure of success. With the numbers tipping firmly in America's favor, President Johnson and his top military advisors, including overall Commander General William Westmoreland, assure the American people that victory is within reach. It is only a matter of time before the NVA and VC succumb to their losses. The Vietnamese, however, have successfully battled foreign powers for over 1,000 years. And with a population of over 16 million, the North is prepared and willing to replace their casualties. For U.S. troops in the field, this means they keep doing the same thing day in and day out, under the constant threat of an enemy that is anywhere and everywhere.
Out here, the tension just builds and builds until you feel like you're gonna explode. Most of these guys would give anything for an excuse to squeeze off a couple rounds.
19-year-old Second Lieutenant Barry Romo has been in Vietnam for 6 months. He spent most of that time leading search and destroy missions.
Guys will do anything to break the tension. It's some of the blackest humor I've ever seen. Guys play mumbly peg with bayonets, throwing them at each other's feet, moving them closer and closer together. And I told them, I said, well, if you injure yourself,
you're going to be walking around here with that. And he didn't care. That whole question of just dealing with the incredible tension and stuff, and jokes and dirty humor, and when you're in the rear area, prostitutes and drugs and other things, that was real.
While Romo and his men cope with the rhythm of the war, tens of millions of people throughout Vietnam prepare for the country's most important holiday, the Vietnamese Lunar New Year, or Tet. Tet marks the arrival of spring a time to pay tribute to ancestors and look forward to good fortunes in the new year. Since the start of the war, it has also marked a time of peace, when all sides observe a 2-day ceasefire.
A lot of South Vietnamese soldiers have already headed home, though. But these past couple days, command's been trying to call everyone back. Apparently, we've gotten wind of the NVA's buildup around some of the cities. That was the first time I'd heard about
a planned offensive. And people in I Corps, some of the intelligence people anyway, the ones I dealt with, believed it was going to happen.
Not everyone's taking it so seriously, though. Some guys are saying there's no way the communists can launch anything major. They're already all tapped out. But I'm not so sure about that. From what I've seen fighting these bastards in the bush, they're smart as hell, and they don't give up.
But as the sun sets on January 30th, 1968, many expect this year will be like every other, a night of peaceful festivities.
Quadrant 372, verified. This is Alpha 6. We have an extremely large force moving towards us.
All of a sudden, the radios start going crazy. Guys are calling in attacks from all over the place. Nobody knows what the hell is going on, but you can tell
it
it's
was something different, that it wasn't isolated. All these places getting hit at exactly the same time. I just sit there and listen, and it's like listening to a radio program, except that it's reality.
As the sun rises on January 31st, the confused actions of the night give way to a grim realization. Over 120 cities, towns, and military bases, including the capital of almost every province in South Vietnam, are under attack by an estimated 84,000 North Vietnamese and Viet Cong. It is the largest coordinated military action of the war to date. Unknown to the Americans, the enemy has spent the past 7 months slowly moving hundreds of thousands of mortars, artillery shells, small arms, hand grenades, and explosives into the south via the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Under the guise of the Tet celebrations, they hid these weapons inside truckloads of rice and carts of flowers and carefully moved them into position for their assault. The incredible scope of the Tet offensive catches the Americans by surprise, but it doesn't take long before they begin to fight back. At the embassy in Saigon, military police and Marine guards begin clearing out the Viet Cong. Just outside the city, at Tan Son Nhut Air Base, 905 U.S. ground troops engage in close quarters combat with 1,200 NVA. While American pilots lift off under enemy fire to support fighting elsewhere in the country. "400 miles to the north, mortar and rocket fire rain down on the 6,000 American Marines at Quezon. An estimated force of at least 20,000 NVA have the base surrounded. Completely cut off by ground, they are running low on supplies, while the Marines on the outer edge of the perimeter resort to hand-to-hand combat. To the east, in the ancient imperial capital of Hue, a few hundred U.S. and South Vietnamese troops are tenaciously holding what little ground they can against the advancing 8,000 NVA, who are determined to wipe them out.
Nobody says a word. Although I'm literally about to bust, I've got so many questions.
Medical Corpsman Raymond Torres and his company from the 26th Marine Regiment are packed inside a C-130 en route to Hue. Less than 24 hours into the Tet Offensive, U.S. troops are launching counterattacks aimed at reversing the wave of the enemy advances.
How bad is the fighting at Hue? How many wounded are there? What do I do when we land? Ask for instructions? Or just run to the nearest casualty and start working?
125 north at 15, United 12.
But nobody pays any attention to a hypermedic.